Ngozi, I am honored to have you. You are doing some amazing things right now.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Michelle, for inviting me onto your podcast. And hi, everyone. My name is Ngozi, and yes, you hear a British accent. And when I talk about what do I do, so by background, I'm a psychotherapist and social worker, and I still practice. I'm completing my doctoral research, looking at Black women in the C-suite in the United Kingdom. And in the last 3 years, I have turned into an AI entrepreneur. So essentially, self-taught myself AI, and I am now focused on immobilizing Black women to build AI personal brands. So personal brands accelerated by AI, AI powered businesses. And people always ask me this. Yes, I do work with non-Black women, so men and Black men and white women and anyone else that's not Black. But I center Black women specifically because we are truly underrepresented when it comes to tech, AI in so many different respects. But I am, of course, open to work with many other people as long as they are respectful and understand that I focus my work in that intersectional piece. I've been in the mental health space for 20 plus years. I ran a nationwide mental health service that I started up for about 8 years, made over £1 million over 3 years, helped thousands and thousands of Black, Brown, mixed heritage individuals receive accessible and affordable mental health therapy. So I've been doing the work for a long time, was behind the scenes and then got a bit more visible and started putting myself out there and really advocating first and foremost for Black women to rest and then turn rest into revenue. So you might sometimes hear me say, a rested, whole, healed Black woman is a threat to the entire system. So I have got a privilege here to speak to yourself, Michelle, and your audience to talk about. I think the biggest thing I want someone to take away when they hear this is that right now it's an opportunity for every single person to use AI to advantage their life. For some people, it's going to be in the workplace to help them upskill themselves and get a higher paying job and promotion. And for others, it will be taking that leap and saying they're going to bet on themselves and to start their own brand and build a business on their own terms.
I love it. And you talk about still practicing, you talk about the industry that you're serving. Is there a part of that industry centered life that you think still serves you today?
When you say industry, you mean social work and therapy? Is that what you mean?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, yes. So I feel I call myself a heart-centered entrepreneur. So I lead with my heart, but I've got a business mind, right? You don't
Mhm.
meet many wealthy therapists or wealthy social workers because unfortunately they're just not the best. They're not the best when it comes to business. I think I've got the best of both worlds. I'm able to be very ethical, to be very heart-led, but I like money. I like making money and I like to have massive impact. But I believe I will always do some sort of social work and therapy because that is real transformation that occurs and happens. And it enables me to utilize AI. It enables me to coach the people that I coach in a therapeutic way, but not as a therapist to them. Yes, have no matter how much money I make, no matter where I go in the AI world, in tech world, in the coaching business world, I will never lose my roots as a social worker or therapist. That's why I always mention that first and foremost, I'm a social worker and therapist at heart.
I think that's brilliant because so many of us will tend towards compartmentalization and we will think, okay, I'm turning that off and I'm moving forward with this new thing. And it's really complementary, especially in the service of women, because my argument is always with women that I'm talking to is that you're bringing your whole self to the table at any given moment. And it sounds like you're just the epitome of that. You're recognizing all of these women that you serve, they're bringing their whole selves into their business dreams.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So even when I say that, and I want to make sure the audience gets it, I am not a social worker. I say, some people, when you say who you are, they say their job role. Now, I'm me. I'm Ngozi Cadmus. I'm a wife. I'm a woman of faith. I'm a daughter. That's first. But in terms of my roles, they complement each other. I love to do, today I had a therapy session with my client. And then I'm doing my doctoral research. I like to do different things. I can't just do one thing. So even within a day, I go through different roles. And there's something about my mind, different parts of my mind gets challenged, right? When you're coaching people and making people make money, that's one part of my mind that gets challenged. when I'm doing an assessment and detecting if somebody needs to be detained under the Mental Health Act. You guys call it committed, right? I think a judge does that in the UK, in England particularly. My role was the person that determines if somebody should be put in hospital under a period of time against their will, right? That's a different part of my brain that gets stimulated. When I'm in a room, well, online in a room with a client and we're doing deep traumatic work, there's a different part of my brain that gets stimulated. So different parts of my brain get stimulated that makes me me, that makes me feel whole, that makes me feel like I'm making an impact, every single day. So yes, I think that I've been, before it was popular to be multi-hyphenate, before it was popular to be multifaceted, I was that. And that was also a big struggle of my life because, until the last 5 years when now being multi-hyphenate is now a cool thing, it was always kind of like, just do one thing, Ngozi. And it's like, well, I can't do one thing. And I also want to say, because people, when we think about multi-hyphenate, people always think about, the typical creative, right? Like dancer and singer, but you could be a multi-hyphenate like me, academic, doing my doctoral research, social worker, therapist, heart-led, making money, doing so many different things. I now do AI, create AI videos. I never thought I haven't got an artsy bone in my body, but if you see the things that I create, you'd be like, wow. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, did I create that? I created that. So that's what is amazing is that, as you evolve as a woman, as a person, you begin to tap into different things that you thought you couldn't do. And you can do all of these different things within reason and within balance, to stimulate yourself and also potentially make money from it.
You just woke up something for me that I have struggled with multiple decades of my life. So kudos to you. But it's that idea of someone telling you, your first step is to really know who you are, as if, and I always interpreted that as who you are is one thing. And I always struggled with that. Obviously, and I would walk away with the thought, obviously, I don't know who I am because who I am changes on a given moment. And what you just articulated just completely woke that up for me. It's not that I don't know myself, it's that I haven't fully embraced the multi-hyphenate parts of myself. So, damn, check is in the mail. All right.
I received
But I also love the fact that you brought up the money aspect of it. You are a businesswoman who appreciates money. And I oftentimes will speak with people who feel like it's one or the other, because I'm either going in whole heart and I'm donating of myself and they burn out and they're exhausted, or it's I'm a cold-hearted business person. It's like, no, you have to make money because we need your wisdom in the world. You have to be sustainable. So I
100%.
appreciate that.
100%. People will say when you pay attention. And I, coming from the social work world, therapy world, we therapists, whether it's in the UK, in America, all over the world, knows, and social workers understands what it is to work in environments where sometimes even charging for mental health support is like how you should give it for free. But the level of energy that it takes to sit in the room and modulate someone's trauma and reconfigure it in a way that's palatable so they can go back feeling lighter, where you carry it and you got to process it yourself. 50 quid an hour is not a lot of money when you've got your own bills to pay, for example. So the idea that we give for free, and I've been there, I've given things for free, I've given people things that for low cost, but sometimes it builds resentment. It builds resentment because, and this is a weird thing, and I wonder, I wonder about it, and I think it's true in all industries. People that pay low, affordable is obviously relative, but let's say anything less than £100 for something, they sometimes give you the most issues. And they will demand of something, but people that pay 3, 5, 10K, they're not bothering you. If they're even like, oh, I'm so sorry to bother your time. Well, they're not causing as much as a ruckus or a fuckus, compared to those that pay lower cost. And you see a lot in the mental health world. When I was running the mental health service, majority of the time was good, but people paying £30. That's like what, $40 for a session, right? This is ridiculously low. Now, of course, there'll be some people who can't afford that, so we know it's relative. But on the main, that is a very affordable price for therapy, right? People will be asking for discounts. But the clients that pay 70, 80, 100, they show up, they do the work. And I'm not saying those that pay 30 don't, but there was a big difference. The amount of drama and difficulties that occurred across with all of the different therapists that I speak to that do low cost compared to what clients that pay like the average or above average price is very different. And you get that in different things. So there's something about value attached to money that when somebody decides to make a payment on something that they deem valuable, they treat it very differently. So that's why when you pay attention. Whereas we all know, we've all done it. We've gone to something for free and we're not that bothered. But remember, if we paid that money, we're listening, we're making sure because we paid. We look at that account like, you better, that this £200 per session event that I've gone to better be worth it. But if it's for free and it's raining, you might be like, you know what, I can't be bothered. I can't. But if you paid for it, you'd be like, rain, hailstorm, I'm gonna get you. So on the reverse, listen to me, those that like to do things for free and have got a heart. I hear you. But what you are doing is you're actually disempowering your clients. You're infantilizing your clients when you when you give things away for free. Because what you're saying that it's not valuable, that there's no cost, there's no investment in their growth. If the person is investing in their growth, and let's say, for example, it's difficult because in the UK, we have the NHS is quite free. But even some situations, some people in the UK have to pay for certain types of treatment if for whatever reason it's not under the NHS. I know in America you have to pay. God forbid, but if you have a loved one who needs life-saving treatment, you are selling your car. You are selling you're selling because it is worth it, right? It's invaluable. Someone said to you, let me give an example. If someone said a couple, they're having difficulties, right? They're thinking about divorce, and a coach said to them, invest 5K, and can't guarantee this, but if you work with me, potentially we can stop you from getting a divorce, right? And we know divorce can cost so much money, can affect the children. People will pay that because the lifetime effects that a divorce has on the family and the individuals is lifelong. So 5K compared to potentially 30, 40, 50K, that so much that can happen in a divorce is worth it. And that's the thing. So you got to ask yourself, anyone listening to the sound of my voice, I always say this, what is the transformation you are providing to said client? Is it their health getting better? Is it lack of sleepless nights? Is it more money? Is it just feeling good in themselves, having confidence, getting the promotion? So they need to pay for that because you do a free session, they get a job, they get a 20K pay rise. And what did you get? A pat on the back.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm curious about your journey. When did you first start calling yourself a founder out loud? When did that hit for you?
Good question. Potentially 2020. Once I started managing more than myself, when you're like a solo entrepreneur, it's just, you're a solo entrepreneur, right? But once I started having a team and having, I think at a point, I can't remember now, hundreds of therapists under me, like that's when I thought that, oh, I'm a founder because I've got people reporting to me. There's always something every single day that I'm dealing with within the business, the strategy. That's when I realized that I'm a founder. Prior to that, if someone says who's the founder, that name wouldn't have rang a bell. Who's running the business? Yeah. But founder, no, that word wouldn't have related to myself. So I think it was from 2020 once my first business that was successful really got big and I had to manage more than myself.
And what was your journey with visibility? Did you struggle with visibility taking up space initially?
Struggled is an understatement. I hate, and to be very honest, I don't like social media now. So I still struggle with visibility, funnily enough. I don't want to be visible. If I could decide my life, I would be what do they call it? I would be wealthy but invisible. Like, those people who are wealthy, you just never know who they are. Like the whole idea that a lot of wealthy people like clout now, they want to get famous. Back in the day, people were happy to just be wealthy. Now people want to be wealthy and known. Do you know what I mean? I would prefer that. So it took me a very long time. I think from 2015, 16, I began my journey to be invisible. And it was a very, very painful journey because I got severely bullied. So so even that I wanted to act. The reason why I stopped acting was because I didn't want to become famous. Not because I thought I would definitely be famous, but I thought the idea of being visible scared so much. So I left that. Not saying it was a massive dream, but it was definitely a dream of mine that I loved acting at that point in time. So I chose the jobs that I didn't think I'm going to be in the, I became a social worker, not to be seen. Like, became a therapist. So I did jobs purposely to avoid performance, to avoid this visibility thing, because I didn't like myself because of the level of severe bullying. So my self-esteem was quite low. Even though I'm a genuinely confident person, how I felt about myself, my self-image was in the trash. So being visible was healing my self-image. So it took me actually quite a long time to be okay with being visible. Now I do it because I've got a calling. I don't do it because I want to do it, to be honest. I don't do it because I want to, because I would rather not be visible, but I do it because I need to. I do it because somebody's going to hear this podcast and that's going to open the trap door that they've been in. So once I understood that my calling wasn't about me, and actually me not being visible is me being selfish, I realized that it's not actually about me. Get over yourself, right? Because I'm faith led. So it was like, I put you on this earth. You went through a lot of things, but now you can be a light to somebody else's dark place.
Oh my God. The way you just framed that. Oh my goodness. If there is someone listening right now that wants to transition and they want to increase their visibility so that they can sustain, what do you think they should focus on first?
If they're not coming with a strategy, they're not seeking a coach like myself, so I focus primarily on LinkedIn visibility, then I would just start posting without thinking. And that's the advice I give to people if they genuinely are not yet strategic in what they're trying to do, because being consistent is a muscle. So if you can't be consistent, then you might as well just stop. So you've got to learn to be consistent. Now, some people know they can be consistent and want a strategy and want to go straight into it. Or some people are consistent and after a couple of months going, okay, this consistency isn't really getting me anywhere. Now it's time to seek somebody like myself to support them with like taking it to the next step. But consistency is hard. I say that as somebody who's trying to do TikTok, and I ain't posted for like a whole month, because once I forget one video, I'm like, I can't be bothered. There are rebrandings. I am coming back to it, but consistency on LinkedIn is easy for me. I've mastered that. I was consistent on Instagram for a period of time until I left Instagram, and now going back. So I still struggle in consistency in other areas. So I get it. So but now that I was consistent for about 2 months on TikTok, and now I'm like, me and my husband, because he's the video person, he's like, okay, girl, you're consistent, but your videos are bad. He's like, now they come back consistently with good quality videos. So I had to build that muscle of being consistent, and getting through that cringe phase, because when you start posting online, be it LinkedIn, be it TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you go through this really weird phase of being like so and cringe about, probably the same with your podcast, right? The first few, like, oh my God. Then the more you do it, the more you kind of get used to it. And then you can be like, okay, how do I want to position myself in this world of podcasting or YouTube? But people want to go to that point where they're visible completely, they're getting all of the brand deals, but it's like, no, you've got to go through that journey that everyone goes through, which is consistency and getting over your own voice and how you look on camera and being comfortable with that. Then you can begin to think about, okay, now, how do I strategically position myself as this export leader or as this person?
Did you ever consider quitting? Did you hit where you were just like, I'm not gonna do this anymore, and you got over
Hell,
something?
hell to that, yeah. The thing is about social media, and the truth is that the algorithms change. And it's one of the most frustrating things, because technically speaking, there's a level of lack of control you have anyways. So 3 years ago, when I started, so I've been on LinkedIn for a few years. I jumped on late on LinkedIn. I didn't start on LinkedIn to teach people LinkedIn. I started on LinkedIn for other things, and then I now teach people LinkedIn because I've mastered it. Because I've gone through the up and the down. So 2 years ago, I was going viral. Once I started going viral, I was going viral without thinking. Then all of a sudden, I just went from what a post, most of my posts will get 1,000 likes to like barely 100, 200. The algorithm changed, and it's like you're sitting there every day, like, what are you doing? So it took me about 6 to 9 months to get to the point where I'm at now. So, for example, at my height of 2 years ago, I had over, I can't even think about it, let's say over 100,000 plus impressions a week, probably more than that, 17,000 plus profile views, like just crazy analytics. And then I went to 3,000 profile views, less than like, I don't even know how many impressions. Like I dropped, right? Or I was dropping progressively. I grew over 20,000 followers in a year, but I stayed at that for like a good 6 to 9 months. So I had to relearn the algorithm again. Yeah, at that point I wanted to give up because it's like, right, LinkedIn's now become my main distribution channel and I'm not getting the eyeballs that I need to get. So money is not as consistent as it could. You see what I'm trying to say? These are the effects that's happening. So yeah, you want to give up because you're like, what's gone on? What has happened? But I stuck at it, learned how to, whether I get massive impressions or not, how do I consistently get clients? How do I position myself? So once I started to not get the eyeballs I was getting the way easily, I actually started to get more money anyways, because now I was positioning myself much more effectively. Even though I had a massive following, low impressions, I was still getting clients. So, but yeah, I wanted to give up during those moments as well, because it's like when you're putting a lot of work into something and you're not getting, or you were once getting something and then you're not getting something, then you're like, it's hitting your bottom line. It's like, okay, what do I do? You start to panic. But one thing I've learned is that abundance comes from rest. I mean, it comes from a knowing and a trust in place. And nothing ever comes well from desperation and scarcity.
I'm wondering that was what I that was gonna be my next question is that what is it that helped you keep moving anyway? Is it a stubbornness? Is it a little bit of I have one friend that describes a chip on her shoulder is what keeps her going forward. I'm wondering, what is it for you? What helped you keep moving through that?
Faith, a good coach, family, and recognizing that, to be very honest with you, I don't say anything is easy, but when you break things down, there's several things that could be going wrong. But if you know that, so for example, when I know that personal branding is key. I know that Black women founders who have expertise but are invisible, who are the best kept secret, it needs my services. So the issue isn't the people, the issue isn't the idea. So what is the missing link? Is it the messaging? Is it the positioning? Once you begin to let data and give you feedback and take the emotions out of it, it's just a few tweaks. Does that make sense? Like you begin to realize
Yeah.
there's a few tweaks consistently compounded, and that's really what it is. And also trusting God, that God has promised me certain things because I'm called to certain things. So this is not about me. If it was me, I probably wouldn't do this. No, okay, I would, it's hard because it's so hard to take that away. I've always been like this, but it's so difficult. I say that saying that I'm intertwined in this. But if it was just me genuinely like I don't feel called to this, I'd be like, let me just have it easy. Like, let me have a farm, not really, but let me just have an easier life. That's what I mean. Just like no responsibilities, but I'm inextricably linked to my purpose and calling. So it's my purpose and calling that drives me. It's the people that I know, and I say this, this is to me and to everybody. What's standing in between you and your next breakthrough? A lot of it is just visibility. Now, visibility isn't just showing yourself up online. There is positioning. There's so many different things, but many people are not doing that piece. So that's what I'm doing. When I think about it, I haven't been visible for that long. I've been doing business for long, but I was hidden behind my business. So I haven't been visible for that long. So when I really think about anytime I got frustrated in the past, it was like, wait a minute, people don't really know me. Why am I getting frustrated? They don't know me. When you're building a business, you've got to build know, like, and trust. So that means people just don't know, like, and trust me enough. Not a personal thing. So once you break it down, it makes it much easier and, really trusting in the purpose that God has given you. But if you don't feel purposeful, some people do it as stubbornness, some people it's revenge. That I have to be successful. But something has to move you beyond just you.
And what does good business mean to you now? In your in you fully owning your space as this founder, as this entrepreneur, owning your why, what does good business mean to you?
I think good business for me is working from a place of abundance and rest, honestly.
Mhm.
I, I've made more money doing less work than I've ever had before. And I don't do the type A stuff, but if somebody wanted to put me, they probably would put me in the type A because if you saw my resume or CV, you'd be like, oh, she must be type A because I do so many different things, right? There's the ADHD brain. So but so I've always done a lot of stuff, So I say this, it's not easy, but being more restful. It's even a simple example. Like when I eat, I typically am on my laptop, but now I eat and I just chill. You know, it's a small thing, but it's a big thing for me because I'm always doing something. If I'm going out with friends, obviously I can put my stuff away. But if I'm in my house and I come to my house, I'm on my laptop. Like, what are you doing? I'm just on my laptop. I'm always on my laptop. But actually putting it away and just being like, me, I don't know, doing an extra hour or doing, I don't know what I'm doing, it's not going to get me any more money. Like, you know, there's nothing more I can do than what I am doing. So learning to rest and learning to be like, what I've done is enough. If you're doing the work, it's not if you're doing the work, not being lazy. Some people will be like, okay, I ain't going to do that. No, 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 no. Get up and make sure you post that post. But
Yep.
once you post that post, once you're doing that, you know, what more can you do? Post it and then, you know, engage with the comments and leave it. Don't be sitting there. So doing a lot more is like riding a bike like this. Yeah. And then riding a bike like this. The person that's riding a bike like this is most likely going to get to the same point as the person doing this. And that's what I mean. So I think good business for me is a business that I operate from a place of rest and abundance. And I work hard, but I work hard sustainably. I put my health first. I put my mental health first. Never did that before. My mental health, but my health, no. But I've learned that it's totally typical health as well. But I learned that in my 30s and being pre-diabetic ain't a great thing. So I need to put my health first and make sure that as I'm making money, I'm also being healthy. Because God forbid that I hit 40 or 50 and I make so much money that I can't even fathom and I'm unhealthy and I'm not able to look at it. That'd just be crazy. So, you know, when I break it down to those little elements, that's what I mean. But if you spoke to me about 2 years ago, I would have said that theoretically, but I didn't really mean it. But I genuinely mean it now. Like, actually, I'm looking after my health, going to the gym for an hour. 'Cause I used to be like, gym, do you work? That's all I used to do. Gym, work, gym, work. Because in my head, that extra hour could be used for something else. I need to be productive. It's like an hour going there, like that hour and a half going and showering is not going to take money away from me. So that's what I mean about the wholeness and the sustainability of business. That's what I think good business is. And obviously lots of money and make lots of good impact.
Yes. Now, what's next for you? As you move forward with your work, what is next on your to be on your plate?
So for me, my biggest focus is helping Black women and anyone allied to that. So I have some people that are not Black women that have joined me that I work with. Help them get paid on LinkedIn. Yeah, get reparations. But essentially help them get paid. Help them build a brand where they're no longer the next kept best secret. They are able to position themselves, get the visibility, showcase their authority, get the income that they deserve and the influence that they need. So that's my biggest focus right now. And also completing my doctoral research and then, you know, launching some, what do you call it, publications and doing some postdoctoral research into AI and the intersectional piece of Black women as well. So I'm looking to change a lot of spaces, but really double down and focus on helping Black women just get paid with AI and AI being that massive leveler. The things that I can do now would not be able to do 2, 3 years ago. So I'm really, really passionate about that. So that's my biggest focus now.
I love that. If someone wants to connect with you and they want to get into your circle a little bit more, where would be the best place to find you?
Oh, the best place? The best place is LinkedIn. That would be the
I
best.
I was guessing. I was guessing.
Yeah. That is right now the best place to come. So if you are listening, you ain't got a LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, LinkedIn is the best place right now to make money online. Like honestly, the best place right now. Better than TikTok, better than IG, and potentially even better than YouTube. So I would definitely make sure that if you are on LinkedIn and you're using it for job search, but you're like, I want to build a business, I want to build a brand, then come right in.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We are going to connect people to your LinkedIn, and thank you so much for taking the time to educate us with your experience and your expertise. It has been a gift.
Thank you so much. Thank you.